Shadow Demon Strike is more of a lane combo than it is a mid-game combo.
I guess you could do dual lanes.
You could do duels.
I think if you wanted to. If you could do Rubik, Gyrocopter in the safe lane if you really wanted to.
Running a tri-lane against an Earthshaker is honestly pretty bad.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, he's going to do his blocks. His blocks are going to happen. And if you're running a tri-lane against it, it's not that much worse than just running a dual lane against it, because at the end of the day, he's going to get his blocks off. So I think either just running dual lanes against a Earthshaker or running an aggressive tri-lane and letting the gyro just solo safe is not a bad idea. Although it is kind of out of character for Signature.Trust, loving to make sure that Lakels gets his farm. So we'll see how they wind up doing it. Right now, it does look like the aggro tri-lane is going to be how they go, unless it's just making sure they get these wards down.
I mean, that's not unheard of either, but I think you're right. I think this is going to be an aggro tri-lane coming out from Signature.Trust. They have Boombells up here ready to go. They're going to even smoke up for this as well. They might even, they are very strong at level 1 engagements. They have Shadow Demon Disrupt into Split Earth, followed up by, maybe a lift or a Fable. He already did go for the lift. They're going to run in. Boombells, they find him. They get KP under Split Earth. There's the Fisher. Beautiful coming out onto MyPro, the cask as well.
might be caught out now.
The Fisher block actually hurts them, but Febby's going to walk through. He's clarity up. He's got another Fisher in about 6 seconds. MyPro should go down. Nice telekinesis will stun up a couple. QO has the remnant, but that's all he's got. The decay. Last right click. First blood for QO. That decay ends up netting them the kill.
I think Febby probably would have gotten the last hit anyway. And it's Febby playing the Earthshaker.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
He has sentries on him. I'm not sure if... I'm pretty sure this is more of a support build. It looks like they're going to have KP. Yeah, KP's playing the Razor as a core. They're playing QO as a core for sure. Right. And then March, I'm pretty sure, is going to be core as well, because he has the Stout Shield. He's got the Mango as well, like you mentioned.
Okay.
So,
well, this is not uncommon for MVP. They oftentimes will switch up roles. Like if they ever... We talked about that Warlock earlier. If that ever comes out for them, March is usually the one who plays it. So,
and they are doing dual lanes, by the way, for Signature.Trust. It is Boombells and MyPro in the aggro dual lane. The safe dual lane is going to be Jap as well as Lakels. So this March Undying, he can get brought down, but if he uses his decays wisely and maybe even gets to the early points in Soul Rip, he should be able to stay alive through a lot of this burst damage, although it is a lot. I mean, especially when Fade Bolt level 2 comes out.
And now the Signature.Trust is running these dual lanes. Undying might be able to really wreak some havoc.
Yeah. This is Undying will get, I think, a lot out of this lane. He just has to be careful not to get bursted down. And his positioning is going to be very important. We'll have to wait and see. But tri-lane versus dual lane, and MyPro actually just can't walk up. Already has the new Immortal 2, the Inscribed Tormented Staff. This gives you the new Split Earth animation that I've seen numerous times already.
That's what they had to update the patch, and they had to make sure they got their Immortals, man. That's what took them so long.
The Immortals are pretty cool. I
can't play without your Immortals.
I know you were not a fan of the Anti-Mage
I just don't like color palette changes, yeah. And the red just kind of throws me off. But I do like the Leshrac staff, even though the attack animation is very, very new.
Yeah, it's interesting. I actually like it a bit more than the regular attack animation. It feels more forceful, and it feels like, this is what his attack animation should be. Splitter's going to go, it will miss. The radius at level 1 is pretty awful, and so KP is just going to be able to back away and go from there.
This is an interesting build from him, too. He's got a Circlet and 4 Ironwood branches. I guess if you're going aggressive, you want to make sure you got a lot of stats. Leshrac is a very squishy pony.
You only need 2 Ironwood branches as well as the Circlet for the wand now, I believe.
He'll just be selling the branches, which is not bad.
Just get the extra mana to work with, maybe some extra HP as well.
It's interesting that he doesn't have like a clarity or 2.
Yeah. Actually, that is kind of interesting, but he does have a big mana pool to work with. I'm sure they have some clarities maybe on the Shadow Demon. They do. They have 1 clarity. Did go for boots first. No smoke coming up from MVP. They just want to get that top rune spot and secure it, and they will. The Storm Spirit's having a great time. QO is at 12 last hits in. And this is what we're talking about. I feel like if MVP are going to win, it's generally because QO is flaring and having a fantastic time.
Yeah. He's usually the marker, right? If he has a good game, they're going to have a good game.
Exactly. And he'll just sit back mid. Then again, this is a DK, and I do want to point out that DK never really has a favorable matchup. Yeah. He only tries to not lose, essentially.
A really unfortunate ward up here top. Just missing the D ward here. Barely outside the radius.
Oh my god. I've seen this so often in the past couple of weeks. That actually sucks. But it's a really smart ward from the raiding team. And they should actually see, yeah, they do see MVP here just hiding the tree line as well. MVP looking to jump in, maybe. Signature.Trust, they know they're not going to get caught out by this. MyPro and Boombells as well are just going to back up and make sure they don't get caught out. Static Link's going to go. MyPro is going to get fished up as well. They're going to link a little bit of damage. The Cask will fly, but they won't dive this. Cask will bounce as well. It's kind of annoying, but...
Lucky as bounces. If that fissure would have hit, and they would have got those lucky bounces, that could have been worse. I think more than bad sentry placement from MVP, it's just really good ward placement, obs placement from Signature.Trust. Knowing exactly where the normal wards are placed, like here, so you can get vision of the pool camp, or even a little bit farther down where you have vision of this, upward ramp coming in. But instead, you put it up here and a little bit outside of the normal sentry ward spot. So smart about that.
It's definitely something we don't see too often. I think teams that expand on their ward placements, I just like the idea of experimentation. But Abba in the mid lane is getting kind of, I wouldn't say wrecked. He's still doing relatively okay. 12 to 20. QO is having a great time now. He's up to 600 gold. He has his bottle, I believe, flying out. So his farm is already doing pretty well for himself.
This is a pretty storm-favored matchup. Anyway.
It is. I mean, it definitely is. They don't have any stacks in the jungle. That's not surprising because the MVP supports have had to been in lane. They're not really doing anything with this aggro tri-lane coming out for Signature.Trust, though. They aren't really getting anything done. They'll chase down Nuts. He's fine. Boombells and MyPro are just kind of trying to get experience. They're not getting kills, and they're actually kind of in a really weird position. And KP is just farming top, and then bottom lane, March and Jab going toe-to-toe with Decay. They're going to rotate wrap around with MVP. Q gets a haste rune. I think they see this. And MyPro is like, I need to get out immediately. Febby should see them rotate through, but
this brand new Obs Ward plays out that movement, and MyPro is going to be taking the smartest route, I think, unless QO's there. No,
he got disrupted for a second, but that haste rune is still going. He's almost level 6 as well.
120.
MyPro has his splitterth ready to go. He's not going to use it. QO does not have the electric vortex, but they do have Fissure. They won't use it though. They just waste a lot of time trying to go for a kill, and it does not pay off.
Yeah, it ends up. I mean, I don't think anyone gets anything out of that, but MVP wasted more resources there with the haste string not getting a kill.
Fire goes on to QO.
And a quick little DC from
it begins. It begins.
Don't say it begins. It's bad. There you go.
I hope this is wood.
It's woodish.
So, excellent. I knocked on the desk in case you guys were wondering. So MVP, they are off to a 1-0 start in terms of a kill. They are pretty even in terms of CS. The Leshrac is not getting anything in the off lane.
No, he's not.
March is getting a bit more. March should be level 4. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think Signature.Trust got a bit bamboozled thinking about how these lanes are going to end up. I think they really thought this Earthshaker was going to be going off lane and Earthshaker and Undying was going to be playing the support. And I think they came to that conclusion based on who March was playing.
Yep.
And then that's one of the benefits of MVP, being able to swap things around a bit. So MVP, I think, is definitely, even after that failed attempt at a gank, I still think they're coming out on top right now. Just because Leshrac is, he really needs farm. Otherwise, he just becomes
farm and experience, honestly.
Yeah, farm and experience. Because he is one of the squishier heroes in the game, and without a quick little boost of items, he can be really easy to take down.
We were ready to get back into the game. There was an item bug coming up from MyPro, and that's the best news I've heard all day, honestly. We're going to jump back in and get ready to go. Mid lane, Abba going up against QO. They're back at it right now. QO did rotate. Abba did not have 6. If he did have 6, maybe he pushes the wave, puts a little bit of damage on the tier 1 tower mid. That's not the case. March is getting lots of experience in this offlane. Jop is trying his best to zone him out. And Mikhail's, of course, now sitting in phase boots. 30 last hits, 19 denies. Storm is right behind him with 29 and 5. It's just kind of patient play right now. We're not seeing any rotations, no death ball, obviously. Not yet, anyway. Telkins is going to go bottom. Rocket Barrage is not going to do really that much. March will pop the tombstone, gets a TP coming in as well. Here's the decay. Lakel's not taking that much damage, and so they're going to zone him out. Nuts TP's in for free. And just by throwing up 2 abilities, they force rotation and they force out the usage of the tombstone as well. So that's pretty big. They'll rotate another hero in, though. It is going to be QO. He has his ball lightning. He's going to use it. Lakel gets so ripped up. Now they're going to use another ball as well. There's going to be the rocket barrage. The cast goes in from Nuts. Another usage of that ball lightning. Jap is going to lift, and he might be able to lift. No, Nuts gets that last right click. And suddenly, Lakel's gets cleaned up by a great rotation early on here from QO with that TP. And that'll get him up almost to 7 as well.
He's going to catch out the stack.
Yeah, that's huge. When QO gets the stack, he gets his treads up, he has his bottle. We'll see if he gets his soul ring or maybe goes straight for that orchid. He's got a lot of room to work with.
It's a good time to beat QO.
Yeah, it definitely is. He's rocking it right now.
That movement did allow MyPro to get a little bit more farm top. Whether or not that's going to be enough to keep him, get him back into the game, we will see. He's still only at 6 last hits.
He's level 4, but they have a lot of time to work with. And as long as they can keep QO under wraps, maybe this game can stay even. But QO, if he balls out of control, literally, then all of a sudden this becomes Very difficult game, just because they do have some really good lockdown, but it's not really the only thing they have that's instant cast is Elder Dragonform, Dragon Tail, pretty much, and Lift coming out from the Rubik. Disruption's good, obviously, to set up a Split Earth, but
there's a lot of setup for the Split Earth, but
yeah, Lakel's is going to get Soul Ripped as well as Decayed Bottom. He stick charges up, and the Maledict going through March is running low on mana. He has another Decay in 1.
This is level 2 Maledict, too.
I don't know. I don't think this is going to get to kill. The Maledict is actually just going to be off right now, but it does do a lot of damage to
That's
Lakel's.
going for a very aggressive build. 1 point in the Coconut, 1 point in the heal, 2 points in Maledict. We'll see if he gets a 3rd point in it at level 5.
And I wouldn't be surprised. Maledict is, I think a lot of people have been building it that way. The 1 point Voodoo Restoration, too good to pass up. They are going to go in the Tier 1 tower. He's going to come in from QO, but they need more help as well. He's going to walk in. Abba has his Dragon Tail at the ready. It is level 1, but still, that stun duration at its first level is ridiculous. The Tier 1 tower getting assaulted. They're actually going to be the last hit coming out from the Leshrac, and that is the beginning of a death ball, potentially. They could do that same exact thing to pretty much every other tower on the map, but they have to be careful as how they play it. So, Tier 1 tower's dead.
So, yeah, so far in this patch, it is still most common to pick up the 3rd point and Coconut, the stun at level 5, but it's becoming more and more common. We're seeing a lot of instances. I would say maybe 10-15% of Witch Doctor games so far, we do see the 3rd point and Maledict at level 5. So.
Kyo and Abba going toe-to-toe. Ball Lightning onto the rune. Kyo picks up his bounty. Really go for this kill. Looks like he really has his Soul Ring as well. He's only level 1 pull. He's going to keep going. Abba's very tanky, though. He has 9 armor coming through, and Kyo's going to use all of his mana pool to try to get this kill. And the Breathe Fire comes out just to reduce the damage. They had a Rubik nearby. Kyo decides smartly not to chase any further, but he expends all of his mana and bottle charges in the process.
That's a QO play.
Yeah, I mean, there's statistically no way he gets that kill, and or just doesn't seem like it. I don't know why he goes for that. There's a call down bottom on the March. He does have a solar. No tombstone. He already dropped it. Rip's going to go. They're looking for a telekinesis. They'll find. They'll bring it back as well. March has Decay in 1 just to make himself a bit tankier, and will. So hard to kill these two heroes, the Dragon Knight as well as the Undying.
Yeah, March is playing a very good game so far on Undying, forcing a lot of pressure. He's got 3 assists already, and Lakel's is not having. He's having a pretty good farming game still, 63 and 25, but it could be a lot worse for MVP.
I mean, the thing is, Signature.Trust have this DK who seems kind of underfarmed. 41 last hits, I guess it's not that bad. It's just really the Leshrac that I worry about. His Arcane's actually pretty early on, but they are pretty inexpensive in comparison to 1,000 gold. So
net worth-wise, Lakel's and Abba are about the same, but QO is just leading everyone at the moment. So
yeah, he has, and this is no surprise really. He got those couple kills down bottom. He's been getting great CS stacks in the jungle. I think he took 1 of them. There's no other stacks that I can see. Febi's going to walk through. He is playing the Earthshaker. He's almost level 5. That's pretty good. He's got 400 gold and boots, so definitely it's not a terrible support Earthshaker game, honestly, for Febi, and it's going to hopefully continue on that trend as they smoke bottom.
See if they can pick anybody out here. Jap maybe making the wrong move, but no QO's going to go right onto Lakel.
There's going to be the usage of the Coconut. They get the kill. He does get the call out. Great defensive disruption. The Breathe Fire comes in. They will get the kill on the Gyro. But what else can they get out of it? Jap getting low. QO survives. Here comes KP. The Blaster Field. Abba getting turned on. Nice Breathe Fire. Doesn't matter. Gets destroyed by those 4 heroes. Nuts going in with the cask and the Voodoo Restoration, just healing him so much. Fisher comes in from Febi from the north. They'll get 4 kills. Signature.Trust have yet to get on the board 10 minutes in, and MVP are starting to, well, it's death ball again.
MVP has been willing to move their heroes around the map. KP just TP bottom. QO's already went to 3 different lanes this early. March went top for a kill. Like, they're willing to leave their lanes to get kills, and it shows right now the strength of doing that this patch.
Yeah, and Signature.Trust, my pro just wasn't ready, I guess, to be there, honestly.
No, he wasn't. He had to go back to the tower to fight. He's half health, half mana. He couldn't really involve himself in the fight.
So, I mean, where do you go from here? Because it feels like you're starting to lag behind. Like, the Gyrocopter's died twice in the past couple of minutes here. He's sitting on an Ogre Club, and if he goes for BKB first, it feels like maybe he... I mean, I don't know if that's going to be enough damage for you, and especially because Leshrac has nothing. The DK is going to have only his Elder Dragon Form and Breathe Fire. Right. And it just feels like they're underwhelming at this point on the side of Signature.Trust.
The problem is at this point, Signature.Trust can't really fight because they will lose. So they just have to hope that they can farm up effectively, stay safe, avoid the ganks, and try to kind of worm their way back into the mid game.
It's going to be interesting to see how it goes, honestly. Abba, he's going to back away. All right. Tombstone. TP out. Oh my god.
Not going to get out.
He got obliterated. I guess decay on a Shadow Demon doesn't feel very good, apparently, plus a fissure to the face.
Signature.Trust has been outnumbered in every single fight that's been taken so far. MVP is just, like I said before, just willing to move around.
And Kyo is going to go for an early Bloodstone here. Top lane.
Naba, no, he's going to get fissured up. Will there be a follow-up? No, but Febby maybe went a little bit too deep.
Rip. March, Echo Slam. He will go down, but March going to work. Soul Rip can get this kill, maybe. They're just going to right-click him down. Decay goes through. Last whip will get the kill for KP. March is low. They can't afford to give this up. They do. That's a big kill for Lakel's going the way on the side of Signature.Trust, but KP still going in. Ball lightning coming through. Call down misses, actually, but now they're going to turn in. They're going to look for their MyPro on the backside splitter. Avoided by QO nicely. He gets to a mega kill streak, and he's still going. He's still rolling. Jop in trouble. A couple more right clicks can't finish him off, but they're more than happy with that. As they do pick up 2 kills, they do let the Gyro get out alive with a kill in tow, but they're just losing too much at this point for Signature.Trust for these trades to be worth it.
That was better, though.
It was, yeah.
Lakel's willing to TP, help out the fight. That's kind of what carries have to do now.
Yeah.
If it gets to the point where you're going to lose 2 heroes, like that is so much of a momentum swing now that if that's going to happen as a carry, you just almost have to TP to help out.
Man, it feels like Signature.Trust, we talked about how they play 4 Protect 1. It almost feels like they're not ready for this patch or this play style. And MVP are like, we have QO, he's farming really well, we got him 2 kills, let's keep him snowballing, and they have been keeping him snowballing.
I think if you're going to do 4 Protect 1, it's kind of hard to do 4 Protect 1 when you run an aggressive tri-lane, right?
Yeah.
The idea was maybe to pin the supports of MVP so they couldn't rotate down to the gyrocopter, but
I think
doing the dual lanes wasn't enough. Yeah, they didn't do the aggressive, right? They did the dual lanes. So it wasn't enough to pin the support stop from rotating around and making plays otherwise.
They had the combo, and they just never really used it.
Right.
I mean, not that there was a really good position, because that tri-lane that you talked about, you know, going into an Earthshaker is not easy to do. Fisher now into Abba, and it does block it, but there's the Tombstone, actually frees him up. The call down's going to fly through. It'll hit on Mark. He's pretty tanky. Kyo gets all the way in. There's a lot of heroes, but that cast goes in. The Death Ward as well, the Plasma Field. There's so much damage. Abba is about to fall. The double decay from March. This Flesh Golem is a big man. They're going to get 4 kills on the side of Signature.Trust, and maybe even go for this Tier 1 tower as well. And it feels like Signature.Trust are just, oh, what do you do, man? What do you really do?
There's honestly not much at this point. They have to just out-execute team fights. Just take the right fights, maybe have MVP being a little cocky, diving towers, get a couple of counter kills, and then work from there. But at the moment, if they make many more mistakes, there's no coming back.
And it feels like they've already made a great deal of mistakes just by where they've been playing, their positioning, coming to team fights, which you've mentioned a lot.
Their lane decision wasn't the best, as we talked about at the beginning.
So MVP Phoenix in a dominating position. This is, again, a team that is very experienced with Bevy and March and QO, but I did not expect them to bring this much of an A game here in this first series, at least at the start. It's actually ridiculous. KP has a full mech, treads, Aquila, and a point booster, and he's not even the most farmed hero in the game at 15 minutes. No, that is, of course, the Storm Spirit.
QO does he have a complete
He has
Bloodstone?
A full Bloodstone.
Yeah, he's got a completed Bloodstone at 15 minutes.
He has a full Bloodstone at 15 minutes into the game. The good thing is there's a silver lining here, is that Signature.Trust win one fight, his Bloodstone is down to 6 or whatever charges, and suddenly he's not snowballing as hard as he possibly could. The bad thing is that they're so far behind that taking this fight, even if they might have an advantage otherwise, and they still lose, all of a sudden MVP QO has maybe 10, 11, 12 Bloodstone charges.
I talked about how they need to just pick a good fight. This smoking as well is kind of the same idea, right? Just taking advantage and getting a good fight.
Yep.
So Signature is going to try that. Unfortunately, they're not going to find anybody, but it's the right idea. Maybe they can 5 men down this tower.
And they might be able to, but they will be trading for a Tier 2 bottom, perhaps. Lakel's is up here. His BKB is flying out right now. That's good, and that's going to keep him safe from the Storm Spirit a little bit longer, as well as the Undying. And pretty much actually all the damage. The static weak is going to be a bit rough.
But at the end of the day, MVP is going to notice this, and they're just going to take a Tier 2.
Yeah, they're not going to try to take it back to this trade. And if you are Sig.Trust, I think you farm elsewhere or you keep going. And that's clearly the game plan, I think, for Jap. He's not coming to that bottom lane, at least not yet. They're going to send over MyPro. I really don't think they can defend this. There are 5 heroes nearby.
All of MVP is here. They're trying not to show that they're all here, but if they go into this, it's going to be a mistake.
Yeah, there's 3 heroes showing right now. The other 2 sort of nearby. There's a Q is just farming up now. They have no vision here in the jungle at all. In fact, the vision is very limited.
This vision by MVP is the opposite of limited as well. They've got this really aggressive high ground ward already up. another one in the jungle. There's just not a whole lot of safe places for Sig.TR to be right now.
Yeah, and actually, there's a lot of knowledge out for MVP right now. They know there's 2 or 3 heroes mid. They know there's 1 hero bottom at least. So they could have made a play, maybe onto bottom, maybe onto mid if they really wanted to with all 5 heroes. They decided against it. They go for the safer play, which is to farm up top and move on from there.
Look, we'll have a triple ancient stack here. Will be enough to, well, he's not actually... BKB first, not a bad item. I think that's when you're this far behind, you kind of need it.
Yeah, but the problem is, are you going to be able to farm up that ancient stack? And the answer is, it's going to take a while. Or probably not.
It's kind of the damned if you do, damned if you don't situation, right? BKB, when you're behind, usually seems like the safe play, but it's oftentimes the play that means that you don't quite have enough damage output to win the fights that you need to win.
Yes, I agree with you. They're really relying on Rocket Barrage, really good positioning. What level is Leshrac? That is the real question. Level 8, he needs a lot more. He is at max Lightning Storm, that's great. Only level 1 Pulse Nova and level 2 Splitter is not fantastic. I mean, if you have max of all of these abilities, except maybe like you're level 14 or whatever, then that's fine. Yeah. Like, that's perfect.
And MVP, they'll be able to take advantage of all of this vision they have. They'll take a really fast Roche, and they are going to smoke right out of it. They want to get something done now.
And Febby, if he wins this fight, he gets Blink Dagger, and it looks like they're in a prime position, prime real estate to do so.
Oh, poor Lakelz, he's so low.
So low. Fisher's going to come in ball lightning. Q actually snipes the kill, gets the last ancient for good measure. Mark will continue onward, ball lightning further. Look how far he's going. Gets immediately lifted. There's a Dragon Tail, Demonic Purge, Glimmer Cape, ball lightning further. BB in trouble now. Tombstone's dropped him as well. And then it's getting right up. There's the Death Ward. And this might honestly just be it. There's nothing they can do. They've already lost the Gyrocopter. They're split pushing. They're even going to try for MyPro to cut the creep wave. And at this point, it just is, it's awful.
A ball lightning steal at least.
He has like no mana to use that. I guess it is 60 activation.
We got him away.
It's 60 activation and then
it's based
0.7 per unit.
I mean, it's one of the more. It's based off of percentage of your mana. So
yeah. I guess that's fine. But that's not really going to do anything. That does nothing, dude. Let's be honest, Jay. It's 3 to 17 and 18 minutes. The game's not over.
I'm trying to pull out some pop.
I mean, there is a miracle team fight here somewhere for Sig.TR, but I can't see it off the top of my head. It's really comes down like a 5-man Split Earth or something.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Split Earth and the Call Down is really our big stolen spell, like a Tombstone Steal or an Echo Slam Steal or a Death Ward Steal.
John, you just go ball lightning. Don't lose it. All right, good. You got out. Fisher on a 2, though. Decay. They already whipped 1 down. The Tombstone's up. Breathe Fire. Solar Call Down's going to go. And Lakelz like, I'm going in, boys, but I'm alone. Glimmer Cape on the mark. Actually does a ton of damage. Brings down that Witch Doctor spell was stolen. Jop now going to work. Fisher goes in. Gets another kill onto the Earthshaker. They're going in too hard, it looks like. MVP need to back off, and they almost get one. They will get that kill. QO does have the age, so they'll be able to get out if necessary. Static Blink only linking a little bit of damage. That was a pretty good fight for Sig.TR, all things considering. QO's going to keep going in. He wants Abba, but great Fisher steal from Jop. Telekinesis, but he dies. He dies to, I think, the right click of QO. He gets a triple kill. He's beyond godlike. He's got 15 goddamn Bloodstone charges, and he zips away. They have to buy back on Jop. They're getting run over in the base. And even gets a BKB just for good measure at 20 minutes in. QO is on fire.
Now, this is very typical Storm Split play, very typical QO play.
Like, he goes in they go in so hard. I'm like, oh, they're going to back off. They dove the tier 3 tower. They lost the Aegis.
It was a pretty sloppy fight from MVP, but they're just so far ahead it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter to them, exactly. And
I mean, we're at 15k net worth.
That was without Blink Echo Slam, too, by the way. Blink is flying out for Febby. Like you mentioned, it's 15k net worth as well as 10,000 experience. So it's
against a Storm Spirit that's real bad.
Because how are you going to kill him now? He's a BKB. He's almost impossible to kill.
All of their setup for him is like Telekinesis instant, Disruption's instant, but other than that, the Split Earth is really what they need to like hold him in place, and that's really hard.
The Demonic Purge is the only thing that goes through BKB as well.
Right.
And that doesn't matter when you have a Storm Spirit. You ball lightning.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I guess they're all dead now.
Yeah. Not looking good for Signature.Trust. I feel like I've harped on this a lot, this qualifiers, but at this point, it's a best-of-2 series, so what you really are doing is playing for the next game. Signature.Trust really need to be thinking about feeling out maybe some things about MVP, getting some maybe some intelligence they can work on for the next game. And MVP, they want to win in the most demoralizing way possible.
Yeah, that's actually pretty true. Crushing the morale of the enemy team is very important for any Dota team, I think, especially in the qualifiers. So they will. It's not over yet. All they really need, there could be like another push like that where they lose a couple of heroes, especially if they lose the Storm Spirit. They give away that Beyond Godlike spree to Lakelz and the Gyrocopter, and all of a sudden he gets like 2,000 gold or something ridiculous. It'd probably be more like 1,500, but still, that one big kill for the Kells might be what they need, or even the DK as well. That one big kill for the DK, that one big kill for the Leshrac. He's going Hags, by the way. This is very uncommon for core Leshracs in this patch so far that we've seen. I think it's an okay item, but you kind of need mana regeneration, and Octarine Core is not bad either.
Yeah.
BKB is not bad. Blink Dagger is not bad. There's a lot of good items, and I don't know if
I think BKB is game losing. I don't really know if I like that phrase, but it's kind of true. So is Ags on Leshrac right now. Also, I don't know. At this point, I feel like you maybe need something like a Glimmer Cape. I don't know, just to stay alive.
Force Staff.
Force Staff.
Yules.
Like I was just using Pulse Nova to keep the regen ring going.
He's a Storm Spirit player at heart, perhaps. Roche respawns in 3.5 minutes. MVP will not wait that long to push high ground. They're going right for it. 22 minutes in, and there's no real reason for them to stop going for this.
No, and this is the right play just to do a little bit of split push. Leave DK behind, let him try to push this tower. That's, I mean, this is really the only play.
And they're going to get ready to go. KP nuts. He has no Aghanim Scepter, not yet. So that would be pretty early. Tombstone gets placed down. KP has Aghanim Scepter. Jumping from 2-0. Blows up the Rubik. Lakel's off to BKB. Only to get Static Link. Fisher blocking the Death Ward is corralled into death himself. Has no buyback. Boom Bells is going to get jumped on. BKB still going to work for Kyo. Gets a double kill. MyPro will probably look for a split earth here, but it's just too late. They call GG, and that was about as dominating of a performance as you could possibly have for a team.
Right. That is one of the outcomes of this patch. It seems to be either you just get 5-man, Deathball down early, do a snowball mid, or bad decisions in the early game, and you lose 25 minutes.